This past weekend I tried to qualify for the RLCS. This was obviously not going to happen given I'm a Champ 3 moron, but I just wanted to see how far I could make it. The team we entered consisted of some of the EU moderators of the Rocket League subreddit. It was myself, a Champ 3, Jai, a Supersonic legend, and Zeos, who doesn't play ranked but believes himself to be around GC2. This was all done on a live stream here on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell if you want to make sure you catch any future live streams, but this is how it went. So we started off the day playing some ranked at around the GC2, GC3 level to get ourselves warmed up for the matches ahead, and these went alright. We won a few, lost a few, but overall, we played somewhat decently. Even I wasn't completely useless in these matches. And then, at 4 PM UK time, we had our first qualifier matchup against a team called Nova Esports. I couldn't find out much information about the players on the team, but we did manage to find out that one of them was a Diamond 3. So things were looking promising for us, but we didn't want to underestimate them because it could have been a red herring like with Zeos, who doesn't play ranked, and I think his current MMR is around the Champ 2 level. But we got off to a good start, going a goal up after just 9 seconds. One of the opponents also typed in chat, "Wow SSL," as Jai had his tournament winner title equipped, so we thought that was probably a good sign, being that they would most likely have been lower ranked if they had never seen a SSL title before. Just a minute later, we got our second goal of the game and we were feeling pretty comfortable. Less than another minute later and we had got our third goal of the game, just as Maisie the cat attempted to get on the windowsill behind me just before giving up again. So at this point we knew that we were quite likely to make it through to round 2, where things were going to get a lot more difficult. And there's a pretty good pun there that you'll probably understand shortly. And then the floodgates opened and we scored a bunch more goals, finishing game 1 7-0. Game 2, and it was much and such more of the same story. Once again we scored 9 seconds into the match. We took this one a lot easier though, and just gave our minds a nice rest ahead of the next difficult matchup. So we got some decent goals here and there, but we finished the match 5-0 up, but for most of the game we were just going for silly stuff. Or at least I was. Or that will be the excuse I use. For round 2, we were put up against RLCS Grand Finalist a lot. So now you understand the a lot more difficult pun from earlier. There was also an RLCS World Champion in Greasymeister on this roster, but he was not playing against us in this matchup, so whether he was a sub or just they were playing with their sub, I'm not really sure. Now we knew we would almost certainly get sent down to the lower bracket after this one, but we were determined to give it a go regardless, and if we could score a few goals on this caliber of player, and as long as I could get a demo on a lot, I think I'd be happy. 5 seconds into the game 1 and we were already a goal down. Should have made the save on this one. It was a really strong, powerful shot from a lot, but yeah, I was really disappointed with myself on that one. I should have been able to make it. And not too long later, I got the demo on a lot that I was hoping for, and also got one on shots too. Unfortunately though, we weren't able to capitalise in the short time we had a 2-player advantage, and the score remained the same. I started to notice a massive difference in what the pro level is like. They really can score from anywhere and in places that you just wouldn't expect them to get powerful shots from. A minute and a half into the game, a lot started doing classic a lot things with this wonderful play off the backboard to set up their 4th goal. And it was just a classic a lot thing of beauty really. We did manage to pull a goal back, but it was pretty obvious at this point that these guys were just taking it easy on us. They knew that they didn't really need to try and could beat us comfortably without stressing about it. However, goal after goal came in after that, and embarrassingly, we got Braziled in game 1. I did however get 5 demos, so at least there's that. In game 2, we started off quite well. Again, I think it was pretty obvious that they were taking it easy on us, but we did get some pretty good plays, and we nearly even scored a couple. We lasted nearly 2 whole minutes without conceding, which at this caliber of player I think is really good. We defended pretty solidly, and I'm pretty happy given the skill of our opponents that we managed to survive that long. When we did concede though, we conceded more and more in quick fashion, and we were 3-0 down after just another minute had passed. After that though, we survived about another minute without conceding again, as once again they let their foot off the gas, but then in the final minute and a half we conceded a further 5 goals to lose the match 8-0. Which of course sent us down to the lower bracket where we would need to try again against some other defeated players. The team we faced in the lower bracket were called Terashizu, and it was another team of Supersonic legends who were very well organised and very difficult to break down. These guys were definitely taking it a lot more seriously than our previous opponents, and while we did do our best, we were really up against it. They scored again and again, and I can't really say much else happened. The final score of 5-0 in game 1 may have been more respectable than the previous series, but this one felt like a considerably tougher match. There were a lot less opportunities for us, and yeah, we just felt like we were smothered really. In game 2, I played pretty dreadfully. My brain seemed to black out and I couldn't focus on anything for the first couple of minutes, and so I really struggled, but thankfully my teammates were able to hold them off for me and we were still at 0-0 halfway through the match. I managed to pick myself up and started playing a little bit better again, and we managed to hold them off for nearly 4 minutes of gameplay, and that was really promising for us, but alas, we conceded just before the final minute again, and then once again our backs were against the wall. Not too long later, they had a wonderful play which involved an infield pass to a player that I had just bumped, which in turn set up their second goal, and once again, floodgates were open, and they scored their third and final goal in that final minute, which sent us crashing and burning out of the competition. So no, we didn't make it particularly far. We only made it into the second round, in fact, but that's not really that bad considering the level of our opponents, and at least we didn't get first rounded. Overall, it was a really fun and enjoyable experience that I'd love to give it a go again, and I'd recommend everybody else try and enter this, even whatever your rank, just because it's a lot of fun. So I'll probably enter the next qualifier at the next split on the 29th of October, maybe even with the same team, so if you want to follow along with that, I'll probably be streaming it again like I did with this one. But I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did anyway. Playing this game with friends just makes the game so much more fun. If you did enjoy it, please do hit the like button and consider subscribing. It's free, it takes no effort from you, and you can always change your mind later if you don't like the future content. These little engagements really do help get my videos and my channel recommended to more people. So it really does help, and we really do appreciate it as creators. But that will just about do it for this one. Take care, and until next time.